Hey everybody, Josh Nerd here in Twin Falls, Idaho, taking a look at a Reflection 341 RDS. This thing, it's good size, but considering the size of it, the fact that it only weighs like 10,800 some odd pounds, depending on how you option it, obviously that might change things a little bit. Surprisingly towable given the size of this thing, which makes it a very interesting RV that is very destination friendly, but like something that you can, you know, haul around with a little bit more comfort as a result, especially considering the, you know, the Goodyear Endurance radial tires and the MORryde suspension package that you have on these, giving you a little bit better ride and handling versus not those things effectively. Now, I like to give RVs a name. And usually, like, you normally name like a boat and an RV, like you name it after a lady, right? I'm gonna call this one Dinner in a Movie, which obviously I've never met a woman named Dinner in a Movie. But what I mean by it is the way the living room and the kitchen is set up on this one, it's a dinner in a movie camper. It's a very cool layout if there's just one or two of you like at a destination for a long time. But at the same time, if you are an entertainer and you want to have family and friends over, like I could see this being a game day draft camper, game day bucket go boom kind of thing. It's a couples model that has exceptionally good guest capacity with a pair of hide-up beds in the back there. And because they're all the way in the back and the bedroom's all the way in the front, everyone enjoys some really natural, organic space, you know. We're gonna be looking at one of the queen bed today, but there's king options. I'm gonna go through and show you a couple of things I really like, as well as point out a few things that I like, you know, a little bit more here or there, something tweaked wouldn't bother me. And that's the kind of fair information you're gonna get from us. So if you appreciate things like that, make sure you like our video and subscribe. In the meantime, let's get going. There's a lot to cover. By the way, you know why they're called Reflections? Because you could see yourself in one. And like I said, it's dinner and a movie. It's actually what's interesting, the first time I ever saw a layout like this was years ago from Rockwood in their Signature Series fifth wheels, or Flagstaff as it were, since those are the same things. But I've noticed this floor plan suddenly making a bit of a resurgence with a couple little tweaks and twists. I've seen layouts like this in like destination trailers from like Keystone Residence before. They all have their own special little swing on things, you know. The consistent thing here is it's almost like a reverse front living, if you will. Or right here we have like a theater love seat. My friend Richard Vale, regular viewer, will love that because it doesn't have a center console armrest. So it is what we call cuddle compliant, where, you know, if there's two of you and you actually like to be near one another instead of away from one another, well, you've got a perfect little place to do it. We are carpetless, we are ventless. This is easy cleaning. I call that easy breezy, beautiful cover girl kind of camping. And just airflow windows everywhere in this thing. Also, as I said, if we fold all this down, you see that we do have twin hide-beds, but note the television. You see how that TV is also on a pivoting swing arm mount, so you can move that around. So what's cool about this one, it has a very clear, open, big, well-defined, separate living room and kitchen without being like a 45-foot Solitude. Not that there's anything wrong with a 45-foot Solitude or Montana or whatever, just that it's not quite that large. By the way, these are TCL Roku televisions, which I think is kind of cool, meaning smart TV. So if you are a streaming media enthusiast, you know, you can just hook it up to your Netflix and you can chill, as it were. By the way, how slick is this? Because not only do we have the electric space heat and footsie fryer down there, you see those little slits in the baseboard? That is actually a heater vent. That's a furnace vent. Now, both sofas are surrounded by windows like this, and I really appreciate how they put a light in that overhead area right there to really brighten that up. There's one thing I've kind of noticed on Reflections they sort of do consistently that personally I'd like to see differently. Like, I really wish this had like a white LED accent beam behind that television just to add a little bit of brightness to that area. The other thing I've noticed is like when there's overhead cabinetry, very often they do not include lights under those overhead cabinets, which is something I really just, I don't know, it feels a little dark, a little shadowy to me. Now, in this floor plan, obviously with that sink located against that front kitchen wall, not as prevalent here. Like it's a, you know, that left-hand overhead cabinet, I'd like to see a light. And in this little hutch over here, the microwave actually is the light. I just obviously don't have it turned on. Now, the kitchen in this is, it's weird. It's different. It kind of wraps around things. It's surprisingly good, but it's just very odd, very unusual at a glance. And let's actually begin by dialing into our little entertainment dining bar. What do we call this thing? Unless we're just going to call it the dinner and a movie bar. I don't know. So the thing is, if you just look at this at a glance, like you could bring along one or both of those chairs. Like you could do this a couple different ways, but like if you're looking at it, you're like, why is the bench so much bigger than the table? Like, I don't get this. Well, take a look at this. The whole thing slides. It does the non-electric slide. And you see that little silver rail in there. This table can slide toward the window or toward the kitchen area, wherever and however you would like it. But that's not all. That bench also moves, which is cool. You know, so maybe you want to use it as a footrest in front of one of the hide-a-beds or something like that. It's also a handy storage trunk. But one of the reasons I like that it moves, because if you want to, you could turn this into a little door side picture window breakfast bar. Check this out. But that table also extends. So those two chairs suddenly have a little bit more of a purpose and an intent. Now look at the way that like wall backer cushion, it actually like clips on in place. It doesn't Velcro, so it's going to stay put. But how, like at the same time, if you just got rid of one of those chairs, this could be an amazing work camping desk station right over here. I mean, how cool is that? Having that awesome view out of your campsite, and not to mention, look at all the door side window coverage on this one. But one of the cool things here is because it has the dual opposing slides, the seating slides back in the living area, depending on where you're camping and how you're camping, you have some pretty awesome looks around the whole thing, or you could always pull the blackout night shades to keep the neighbors from peeking at you. So now, stepping back, or stepping around, as it were, taking a look at all the kitchen stuff here. The cabinetry is all pocket screwed. You see hidden hinges. Those are hardwood cabinet door frames, and they're actually hardwood inserts. They've gone with a reversed insert to give it that kind of shaker-style look and appearance. In a lot of the reflection models, that bottom little pocket right here is actually like a USB charging station. That is not the case in this one just because it's a different type of floor plan. But if that was just like a coffee bar, you would see things like that. All solid surface countertops throughout. I like the way they put the little toe kick down there, but nice wide open space for wastebaskets. If you watch my videos, you know that is something that I am always looking for. Now, naturally up top, we had that big like 12-volt MaxxAir style vent fan. That is one of those handy rain sensoring jobs, by the way. And that roof vent, the cover is actually preset. If you want to add one of those handy like MaxxAir or Camco vent covers, you can just clip it in place, no screws required. Very handy for people like me who may have a screw loose. And it took a while, but I am glad to see it finally happening. The larger, like 16 cubic foot, 12-volt DC compressor fridges, not a two-way, not a 110 residential that requires an inverter to run. This can run off battery power, and when you're towing, your vehicle will actually help keep your batteries topped off to keep that thing running. It is very cool. It's very traveling friendly and just as good at a destination, frankly. And I know that the cooking arrangement's a little different on this, but there's some good things about it. First of all, I like symmetrical kitchen stuff. I like when the left and the right, I like how they taper in centrally toward that oversized microwave. Notice that sealed burner stovetop right there. That's something where, you know, you don't have to like tear it half apart to clean grease out of it if there's any kind of spill or anything. There's household outlets and countertop space on both sides of that stovetop. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but RV manufacturers, it seems like virtually none of them give us stovetop side splashes when they mount the stove all the way against the side of a refrigerator or a cabinet. You don't have to worry about that now. The window behind it does open, which means that you do have a screen that could be a little bit of a grease catcher. So you're going to want to kind of pay attention to that a little bit. But it seems like no matter what manufacturers do in a kitchen, Someone says, I don't want a window. Somebody says, I want a window. No matter what they do, it always seems to be wrong. Great dedicated pantry space there, plus just a little bonus kick of space around the entertainment center. But not only that, notice over here on the campside, the door side, how there is not storage above that sofa. On the door side of the RV, I think where the windows mean the most, they maximize the window coverage. But as we pivot around here on the off-door side of the RV, the driver's side, as it were, they still have windows that you can peek out of if you need, but they opted for more storage. And that makes sense to me. These windows to me don't matter as much, but the way that it flows, as though it's like part of the kitchen, to me, it makes too much sense. And really, that's what I'm tuning into as I learn more about Grand Design. I see thought, and I see intent, and I see logic, which I don't know, guys. Sometimes I don't always see that in camper design. I tell you, I swear, mind readers are real, man, for real. Anyway, back to the toilet space. One of the nice things is this does have a sliding pocket privacy door right here. That little magnet right there, there's a matching magnet on the other side that will catch it, so when you're in the shower, it doesn't just rock open and you're putting on a free show for the neighbors or nothing like that. But leg room around here, elbow room, this is a nicely sized, properly positioned, I think, toilet setup. It works for me very, very well. I like a towel bar instead of towel hooks. I think the only thing I would do differently in this bathroom, two things. The first one, I would go ahead and upgrade the fan here. And by the way, little fan upgrades, that's easy stuff for our parts and service folks to handle for you. Now, plenty of headroom in the shower, even if you're, like, I'm about 6'3", and I can stand in this thing without my head being in the bubble. That is an all one-piece fiberglass enclosure. Apologies for my little footprints here. Unfortunately, it just kind of can't be avoided. The good news, we're going to have this RV cleaned up for you so that you're not looking at my footprints when you take it home. The other thing I think I'd do a little differently is the shelf under the sink. Like, I get it, shelving can be handy. I would like a better spot for a wastebasket. I do have an idea for that as we go, though. This RV, the one that we're looking at today, by the way, is outfitted with a tankless on-demand water heater. So if you are like the other adult person in my household, my wife, or the boss, the manager, she just doesn't take short showers like I do. Well, first of all, she's got more hair, so that definitely takes more time. But, you know, back to back, it means I don't have to take cold showers, which is kind of nice. Now, I set up another idea for a spot for a wastebasket. Since there's so much room here, I'd get one of those little wastebaskets right there, one of those guys that, like, uses Walmart bags. You know what I mean? Would that work for you, or would you rather see something else? And by the way, notice how there's no vents in the floor for drips and sprinkles, as it were, to get in there and smell up your whole RV when the heat kicks on? Ugh. How'd they know I had to use the toilet? All right, now up here in the bedroom, you have a couple different options available for you here. And if you want to see some of the other stuff, check out our reflection video on a 337 RLS. Like, these are 50 amps standard. They're prepped for a second air. You notice how there's not one installed here. We could certainly apply that for you at the dealership if you want, or we might have one in stock that already has it included. So why would we do that? And the answer is because not everybody always needs a second air conditioner. Some people prefer those big, like, vent fans. Similarly, not everybody loves king beds. As you're seeing here, you have the choice between a 60 by 80 true queen like we're looking at, as well as a 70 by 80 king upgrade. I really like how they did this. Jayco Eagle does the same thing where when you get a queen bed, you get those little side stands. Now on that side of the bed, you see the little green light down in there on that cabinet? That is a set of USB plugs. There's a set of household outlets down below that. And over here you see a set of household outlets. These are small stands. I still don't think I don't feel that qualifies as, quote, CPAP friendly. It does feel a little bit closer, and there is more room to walk around this bed. But what's cool is if you're looking at one of these that has a queen and you want a king, all we have to do is pop out the side stands, put in a bigger bed, and you're good to go. Alternatively, if it has a king and you want to go to a queen, we can do that too. Both are going to have full storage under the bed, like you're looking at here. And then in the front closet, what you're going to see is side by side, left and right, washer and dryer prep. Now, if you want to, you could put a combo unit still in there, but Reflection's one of the few mid-profiles that has allowed us the opportunity to have washer and a dryer instead of a washer and dryer. Does that make sense? Like, that would definitely be very confusing for people who are only reading the captions right now, but I think when I say it out loud, it makes a little more sense. Now, with the door over here on the camp side of the RV, or the hallway rather, up to the bedroom and the bathroom, access here is absolutely not a concern. So what about road mode? And the good news is you can get to the critical stuff in this one. They nailed it. Other people I've seen build this floor plan, a lot of them put the refrigerator and the cooking situation in opposite positions, which means the fridge is blocked by the countertop most of the time in those. But this one, when you're traveling, the refrigerator is unobstructed. Now, obviously, I left that one chair in place because I'm only doing a quick demonstration, but you get the idea here. One of the other interesting things on this one is this kitchen slide is actually on a rack and pinion system, a through frame slide. So if you wanted to get back to the living room for some reason, you could open it partially and you could get back there, opening only one slide on the RV, and again, maybe only partially. So in terms of travel accessibility and function for a bigger fifth wheel, man, I think they nailed it. And if you like how we take the extra time to show you that stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's hop outside. All right, so outside here, we have a primarily white exterior skin color package, which really helps keep the heat down in the hot summertime. Up front here, it's basically just a wide open pocket of space. It has a couple key things, but I like how mechanical stuff is often very much out of the way. Like right there, you see the inverter prep. These come with a, they're all prepped for inverter, 165 watt roof solar panel that we're gonna see in a minute. Motion lighting right there that's blinding us, as well as a 50 amp MPPT controller. And I really like that they went with the better MPPT controller as compared to a PWM. If you don't know the difference, I can't sit here and explain Solar 101 in this video, but in short, it catches extra juice and makes sure that it gets in your battery. Like, I know their brain's gonna melt when I say that, but for someone who has no idea what solar is, that's kind of thing. Now, in case you're wondering, like, why is it yellow? Because the wall is yellow and it's a, well, reflection of the wall. Ha, get it? Reflection. See what he did there? Anyway, we talked about that tankless water heater giving you back-to-back-to-back showers. You see the motion-activated lighting right there, which is fantastic. We've got our docking center in here, all enclosed and protected, and a big pass-through on this one. It actually has a slightly bigger pass-through than some of the other ones that I've seen with that little dog leg on the right kind of thing going on right there. As long as we're right here, though, something I want to take a look at is down here below the skirt line. And the problem is you can't see a lot of this. It is enclosed, it's forced air heated. They do use a radiant barrier in the belly, but they also use 12 volt thermostatic heat pads on all your holding tanks now. That's a newer addition to this line. This one appears to be popular. I've been kind of waiting for my chance to start recording. We are in a live display currently, so if there's a couple folks walking around, a little background noise, my apologies. We're doing it live, basically. We've got all LED tail and marker lights. I wish I could get you a good look at that nose cap. Later this summer when the weather warms up and I can be outside and go whole hog, I'm going to show you all around. Now, something here. Because they do have a small slide on the door side, it kind of nerfed the total awnings. I'm sorry, nerfed. That's a stupid old gamer term. They could have reduced the total awning space, but what they did here is they just made up for it by putting one mega awning on this thing. It's so big, it has a center support, and I choked myself. Oh my gosh, pardon me. Okay, there, sorry. All right, I almost killed myself. Anyway, so we got those handy MORryde stable steps. Cool thing here is, like, you see these are a little dusty. You can actually flip them up, and you can get more of the dust and debris and particulate outside before you flip it into the camper. This is also a really nice opportunity for us to check out these Goodyear Endurance radials. American made, 87 miles an hour rated. Folks, please don't go towing 87 miles an hour. Actually, it was kind of a funny thing when I came out here to our Twin Falls sister store. The speed limit on some of the highways was 80 miles an hour. Coming from southern Michigan, that is not something I'm used to. I'm going to call it the Idaho Autobahn. We've got our 4-point automatic leveling system here, doing a heck of a job of taking the wiggle and the jiggle out of things. Sorry about that, folks. I'll be out of your way momentarily. On the back here, there's little things I love the factory rear view camera on this. Now you notice the camera is mounted right between the ladder rungs. I actually went and grabbed one of the displays, and I was not smart enough to have my camera with me at the time, but it looks right between those ladder rungs, and with no real diminished field of vision. A lot of RV brands have gone with some kind of backup lighting system. I do like safety features like that, but I also really like the factory standard 3,000-pound towing hitch and 4-way wiring harness. Now that has a 300-pound vertical tongue limit, so if you're looking for like a small generator mount tray or something like that, it'll be perfect for that. If you want to mount like a little motorcycle on this, people ask me that all the time, that is not what this is for. Kind of funny, a little less foot traffic up here on the roof. Funny how that works. That is, again, a look at that 165-watt Furrion roof solar panel that we have on here. Now, again, with that 50-amp controller, if you wanted to expand on that, you could make a very robust solar package for this thing. Over here, we've got attic vents, basically. These white hockey pucks, what they're going to do for us is they're going to let the roof breathe, and that will help the air conditioning system so much in the summertime. Now, you combine that with the fact that, kind of like you see up front there, if you want, there's a optional second air system. Now, that bedroom vent that we're seeing on this one does not have the second air on it. We do actually do that on purpose at some of our locations, depending on where and how some people camp. If they are primarily boondockers and dry campers, double air might not do any good for them, but leaving that vent open so that they could add like an XL ceiling vent fan, that is very handy. So understand that just because like the way that you're seeing it in this video may not necessarily be the exact same way that every single one of these that we carry across our entire network of stores is equipped. Always remember that. So once again, best wishes from Bishes here, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us another time. If there's something I've missed, let me know. But also, leave me a couple comments. Like, describe to me the things that you enjoy about this RV, or a couple things that you'd like. Like, what is the one thing that you would like to see changed given the opportunity? And if we can identify a recurring trend, we can feed that information back to Grand Design, and who knows, maybe we'll help each other make an even better product for tomorrow. In the meantime, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you the next time around. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.